festival of all sweeps down the river.
My first question is for Joey. I wanted to ask, right at the...
He's off again.
Oh, no.
You see, it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Start with him,
Totally
and then you'll come back.
Next time.
Listen, this guy's got previous.
Next time.
Come on, he's only got 3 minutes. No, I know. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, at the beginning, you play like there's two Jaskiers, a Mini Driver's character takes on the form of him, and I wonder what was it like playing this kind of alternate.
Multi-Jasking.
Yeah,
That's what we started to
multi-Jasking.
call it.
Very good.
It was actually quite bizarre because for some reason my stand-in was about 4 or 5 inches shorter than me, so I had to sort of like crouch down to this level quite a lot. No, it was really fun, but it was also I ad-lib a lot in this show, and I sort of dance around the lines. And the problem was that this is the first time I've been on the receiving end of that. And
It's really annoying.
I can only apologise to every single person I've worked with. I'm like, I'm a nightmare, and I'm so sorry.
It's really annoying.
The more you know.
He was actually playing Mini Driver at the time.
you were great too.
But no, it was really fun.
It seems like a small moment, but it's near the beginning with the anglerfish kind of gross food your character is eating. It looked vile, and I wondered, like, what were you actually eating? What was that experience like?
I ate that.
Yeah.
Oh, that actual...
I ate the actual fish, and I ate it maybe about 20 of them.
Oh my God.
I
It was
threw
a
up
rough day. It was a
afterwards.
very smelly set that day, believe me. Yeah.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I think I was trying to like indulge in the moment, and I kind of liked it, and then towards the end I was like, what have I done?
Oh, no. I thought they'd give you something like fake, maybe, like a cake that you could
You think
pretend
that,
was-
wouldn't you?
No,
Yeah,
and then, well, do you know what they gave? They had marzipan eyes,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
and I was like, sugar and cold, wet
Yeah, but they were in the fish, so the fish juice was all over the marzipan. Like, I mean, it was just.
And then
you
I
may
was
as well
like-
have just been eating the eyes.
The marzipan's too far, and then they gave me a grape. And to be honest, the grape and the fish went better. Better.
It's quite an experience, yeah. I imagine it must be quite challenging show to film and like physically, like things like that. And Laurence, I wondered, in the final episode, you have that transformation, and I wondered, like, the mutated kind of bigger version of your character. I wondered, do you wear a bodysuit, or was the kind of process
you have to wear a prosthetic suit. So I mean, during the filming of that, I had to. I was getting collected at about 2:30 in the morning and dropped home at about 9:30 at night.
Oh, wow.
Just because it took so long to stay in the chair and get ready. So it was an interesting 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it yet, so I'm really looking forward.
Wow.
I'm really looking forward to see what it looks like.
Oh, it looks great, yeah.
Great.
Was it
Excellent.
uncomfortable to wear?
It was a
just
little
kinda-
bit. It was smelly.
Oh, really?
I don't know whatever material they used. It was stinking.
Oh, no.
So a lot of people stayed away from me during those shooting days. I felt pretty lonely.
Oh, man.
Oh.
You made it out, you survived.
I did. Yeah. We don't know how kind of the end.
Francesca, about your character's relationship with Gwen, I think was so
Yes.
interesting. Like this kind of backstory. I'd love to know more. Can you talk me through what that connection means for your character?
It's love. I think love comes in all different forms, and what I love about Meldof's relationship with Gwen is you're kind of left in my mind, she loved Gwen more than a friend and in a relationship way, but it wasn't about physical love or it was just completely and utterly besotted, like from the gut love.
Yeah.
So that when these Intrayan elven soldiers kill her, just her whole purpose and guiding light is gone. So, but in a way then grows Meldoff to be a fighter and to be vengeful, and in a way she stands up for something bigger with the whole clan. And when it's giving me goosebumps now, but when through horrible things come good things, and I don't want to say that Gwen died for the greater good so that Meldoff could then go to the next stage of her development, but you've got to look at a beautiful side of that in some way, and I think Gwen leaving Meldoff to then be more independent and find out who she is on her own, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that you mentioned Meldoff. Like, it feels like it's more than a friend love, because that was the vibe I got. So that's great to hear you say that as well. And Hugh, I wanted to ask about it's a very brutal show, obviously. And towards the end, your character suffers in the fact this won't be until after the it airs, so don't
Okay,
worry. First of all.
fine,
Yeah, I
cool.
just want to
Yeah,
double check.
yeah.
But yeah.
What can I say?
I saw fear in your eyes. But your character, has a very grievous injury.
Yes.
And, you see the eye in the face. And I wonder what was like to film, and then also in terms of like prosthetics.
Yeah.
And what was that?
Hideous. Absolutely. I've got to be honest, it was hideous to have, because we put that on in the morning. So I was down to one eye for the morning, and then we went and shot another scene where I'm kind of carrying Michelle Yeoh, and Michelle, bless her, is into my shoulder, and I'm trying to hide my eye. The magic of cinema.
Yeah.
But so I had that on for the whole day, and it's so disorientating and everything like that. But it's a great moment, though, right?
Yeah, really memorable moment.
Yeah.
I love that you managed to hide it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Michelle, come closer.
I was so intrigued by the kind of mid-credit scene. With the mage in blue and what's going on there. Would you mind talking me through a little bit more about that?
Yes.
There?
So one of the best things that I think that Declan did for me as a writer and a storyteller for later seasons of The Witcher is he introduced Aroden and Avallac'h far earlier than you get to know them in like the Witcher saga in the books. And it was great. You say that you got to meet them at sort of their nascent stage when they were sort of innocent. Innocent's not right.
Yeah.
Naive,
Innocent-ish.
perhaps. They have a different sense of the world than the characters that we meet later in the books. And we talked about that end piece a lot because we learn, of course, that Avallac'h has kind of been tracking Ciri through her whole life, through these worlds, through the spheres. We learn that later in The Witcher. And we thought it would be a really nice nod to fans if we took this moment that everyone knows from season 1, where she turns and she looks at a doorway, and that we put Avallac'h there instead. And I think it's just this great sort of Easter eggs. It's like if you know, you know, and you know that it'll come back up later. If you don't, it's, I think, just a great little mystery.
Exactly.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I was like, oh, now I need more again.
Yes.
Something else I really liked about this new one is there was more queer themes. I noticed a bit like Nathaniel Curtis's character, and I'm really bad at the names. But yeah, that pairing in particular I thought was really interesting. We haven't seen as much of that in the main show yet, and I wondered, can you talk me through incorporating those kind of themes and why that was important?
Sure. Well, I mean, it was just, for me, I wanted to represent a world. It's an elven world, right? And it's different than the world we meet in The Witcher. But I wanted to show a society at its height, and an empire before the fall. And what is that made up of? If you went to Rome and that it drew right before the fall, what would that have looked like? It was made up of everybody. And that's why we have, variously able people. We have characters who are deaf, characters are queer, characters are straight. It's just, that's the way our world is. Why would not their world be like that, So it's pretty much it.
Sorry, I should let you finish your sentence
No, that's
before. Something else that I loved that you said to me when we were talking about this is that obviously for Aroden and Brienne, their relationship is not accepted in the public, but has nothing to do with the fact that they are two men. It's a class issue.
It's a class issue.
And to me, that feels so much more representative of what actually would have happened. And I just loved that. I loved that twist on it because obviously, even in a society that is more accepting, and there's still rules.
Yeah.
Every society has rules, and this one just
And
happens
there's
to
still
be about
discrimination.
station.
But it's station, exactly. You can never transgress where you were born.
Your characters have a lot of intimate scenes that are really important to the story, particularly towards the end. And I wondered, what was it like filming those scenes? Was it awkward? Was it just kind of part of the job? And what was that process like?
Yeah.
No, I meant for you personally, not like together. That would be bad.
I could say, actually, wait, what's the question?
Just how
Did you feel awkward doing the?
Well, yeah, and working with intimacy coordinator, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I was just wondering
Lizzie was the intimacy coordinator, Lizzie Talbot, and she was just brilliant. She made it look a stunt, really. But they're always awkward. You have a lot of strangers kind of looking at you, kind of taking their clothes off.
Yeah, it never feels natural.
Yeah.
But I think
you kind of just had to go with it then.
By the time we were at doing some of those intimate scenes, we'd worked with each other so closely that I think I felt very comfortable to kind of clearly communicate with Laurence.
Yeah, and there's a way of working then as well. We make sure that we're covered up and make sure you kind of help each other in that respect.
It was similar to the fight choreography, to be honest. They made it feel very much in that world. So we choreographed the scene, and then we were able to add our character on top, which I felt we did in the fight scene. So it didn't feel too different from
But
that.
the short answer is yes, they're extremely good.
Thank you.